We are now live. Hey players, welcome to another live stream here on my channel. For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single week I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. And in this live stream, I'm going to be walking you through 5 shocking factors that can boost your confidence. These are things that if you can get situated in life and set them up, you're going to be way more confident in yourself. Things are going to be a lot more simpler and easier for you to kind of navigate through. You're going to notice it's going to affect your friendships, it's going to affect your dating life, it's going to affect your success in life. These are all things that, people sometimes can struggle with, but I think if you situate yourself in the right way, you can kind of excel in building your confidence. This is just a small step on the bigger plan of really just believing in yourself and being confident in who you are. But before I get into those points though, I want to give shout outs to all the early birds in the chat. Those are the people that jumped into the chat right from the beginning. You got here ready for me to jump in and talk about this. So if someone that's watching the live stream right now, jump into the chat, say hi, and I will give you your due shout out. So we'll see who we got in here. The chat should be popping up any second now over on the screen. Let's see, Dono the Gamer. Dono says, hey, played, ready for the weekend. Cool, I'm ready for the weekend too, Dono. Let's see who we got. Lil Allen's in here. GT Revs. Hamish K, good to have you, Hamish. Voidy is in here. Alex Burns, sup, Josh. How you doing, Alex? Good to have you in here as well. Sorry. Horrormore is in here. B-Baller24, good to have you, B-Baller. Your boy Jojo. Rage Master is in here. GT Revs, SAMFZ, Sam's, I think? I don't know. Nigel Williams is in here as well. Atlas Synchro, St. Clement of Rome Church. Hey, how's it going, Juan? Good to have you in the live stream. Let's see. Cheesy's in here. Cheesy, thanks for being Armand, and thank you for being on the live stream, man. I appreciate it. Rage Master. Did I say Rage Master? I'm not sure if I did. But either way, good to have you too, Rage Master. All of you guys, thank you so much for being a part of this live stream. I think this is going to be a fun one and an interesting one here. I'm going to walk you through the points of confidence here. But if you have a burning question, if there's something that's on your mind, a question you want to ask me, or you just want to donate to the channel, you can always use the super chat function. By the way, if you haven't already hit the thumbs up on this video, you can always use the super chat function to donate $1, $2, $5, whatever it may be. I will stop what I'm talking about and I will jump in and answer your question directly. Guys, how's my audio? How's my sound? I got a brand new mic. So make sure that the audio is okay. So, if the audio is good, jump in and let me know if it's good. Dono says, heck yeah, first on the in-video chat. I can finally say first. You technically, you popped in on the stream first, according to the, OBS there. But yeah, I mean, guys, so if you have questions, I'm going to be regularly jumping in, checking the chat, answering questions and stuff. My mic is, it's kind of going off. So guys, let me know if there's audio issues. Maybe I got to tweak some settings or something like that. But what was I saying? I was going somewhere. Oh yeah, like I said, if you have burning questions, if there's something, audio's awful. Scratchy audio, really? The audio's scratchy? That's weird. Why is it crackly? Maybe I didn't set something up correctly. Maybe it's too loud. We'll see. I'll try lowering a little bit. Audio isn't the greatest. I wonder why that is. I wonder what's going on. Static. Okay, so I got to investigate, I think, a little bit further and see what's going on here. There's a scratchiness with it. Everything should be set up right, so maybe I just got to investigate. Hopefully it won't affect the stream too much, guys. Like I said, you have a burning question, use the super chat function. But I also want to say this, guys. Let's kind of just dive into the topic here. Basically what we're talking about. So, ultimately, it happens when you get too close to the mic. Oh, maybe I have, maybe I got to lower the gain on the mic. Let me drop it a little bit. Maybe it's just popping and it's going too high above. All right, we'll see. Still got to play around with the settings. But ultimately, let's talk about this for a second. Because when we talk about confidence, when we talk about building confidence, I want you to know that confidence generally is step 2 of the process. There is a step 1 that you really need to kind of make sure you have secure in your life. You need to work on. And sometimes it's a matter of you doing something, and then other times it also is a factor of your environment. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about, Hamish, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. Hamish said, Josh, I'm trying to give myself space. I think it would help me a lot. Absolutely, Hamish. I think that if you encounter a situation where someone makes you feel bad or they trivialize a pain that you've been through in the past, the best thing you can do is to kind of take a step back from them and to not interact with them, to kind of give yourself space. If you feel like you're going to respond to them in an angry way, and you feel like, you're not going to be able to, control yourself. You might say something mean. You might kind of make the situation worse if you keep, getting angry at them. So taking a step back, giving yourself a moment of clarity is the best thing you can do when you're upset with someone and you need, kind of time to yourself. But thank you so much for the $5 super chat, £5 super chat, Hamish. I really, really appreciate it. All right, so let me jump into what I was saying here. What exactly do you need? What is the first step there before you build that confidence? Well, this is kind of the first step you need to kind of focus on. Building self-esteem, having a strong sense of self-esteem. People sometimes conflate self-esteem and self-confidence, so I want to kind of show you guys here what the difference really is. Having self-esteem is basically having a strong belief in yourself and what your value is, meaning you believe that you bring value to the table just in being who you are. What you share, what you think, what you talk about is all worthy of putting out there into the world. And you're not a bad person for just being you. You're just who you are, and that's something to be appreciative of. That's having a good sense of self-esteem. Having a good sense of self-confidence is a strong belief in what you can accomplish and succeed in. So the difference here between self-esteem and self-confidence is self-esteem is a deep belief in yourself, and then self-confidence is a deep belief in what you can accomplish, what you can do. So if you want to accomplish great things, usually that first step starts with you believing in yourself, believing in what you bring to the table. Now, before I kind of explain the second piece there, healthy self-esteem can lead to healthy self-confidence, I want to jump in and answer Nick's super chat. Nick, thank you so much for the super chat. Always a pleasure to have you on here, Nick. Nick says, it should pop up in a second. Nick says, if I tell a girl that she looks super cute one day, when she says, oh, thank you, or oh my God, thank you, which response tells you she's interested? That's a good question. Nick, I would say if the answer is either between those two, I personally would say probably neither. And the reason why I think neither is because those can be just very friendly responses, right? Those could just be kind of like when you sneeze, someone says, bless you. It's kind of these automated type of responses. So whether the girl says, oh, thank you, oh my God, thank you, whether she sends a heart emoji, whether she sends a kissy emoji, a lot of times it's a response to what you're saying. So telling a girl she's super cute, you're going to get that type of response. The key piece isn't you're going to say that and then you want her to kind of indicate I like you back. It's in how you follow up after that. Because here's the thing. The compliment is not the main piece of the conversation. The compliment is just the starter. You're starting off that romantic interaction by saying, dang, you look good today. She'll respond with something like, oh, really? Thank you so much. I like that. I appreciate that. And then it's how you follow up. It's, man, you look good. And you know what? How about we go out sometime? I really want to take you out. I want to get to know you better. It's how you follow up that's going to show her that you want to build on that romantic feelings. So don't focus too much on her response if she says, oh, thank you, or oh my God, thank you, or, like heart emoji, thank you, whatever it may be. That's people tend to kind of respond with a thanks when someone compliments them or says something nice about them. So like I said, focus on the next step and how you continue moving that conversation going forward. So it may be a sign of interest, right? She may have interest, so you may discover that later on. But I think with just that answer alone, you're not going to get a clear picture of like, wow, this girl likes me because she said, oh my God, instead of aw. You're not going to get that early on. It's going to take some time. But thank you so much, Nick, for the super chat. I want to jump back into that point I was making before. Healthy self-esteem can lead to healthy self-confidence, guys. Now, when you're building your self-confidence, a lot of times what can allow you to be self-confident are things that are within your control. But things that are, when it comes to healthy self-esteem, are not always in your control, right? So I kind of gave a little note here, and then there's a really interesting research study if you guys want to check it out too. Self-esteem can be affected by many different factors, including socio-demographics. So that could be where you live, that could be the culture you're born into, that could be your racial background, that could be your gender, that could be a whole slew of what makes up your demographic makeup. Child personality characteristics. So this might be things that you encountered growing up. Maybe you encountered parents that weren't as engaged, or there was a lot of fighting in the home, or maybe you didn't really feel loved or appreciated growing up. Things like weight status. So like your weight and your body size can also affect your sense of healthy self-esteem. If you're someone that, as the research shows, if you're someone that falls into the obese category, that can affect your self-esteem and make you feel down or depressed about yourself. It can make you feel slow or lethargic or tired, and it can affect your cognitive abilities. It can affect a whole range of things. Daily TV time, how much time you sit in front of a screen, and don't worry, guys, I'm going to be doing a live stream and a video coming up soon all about screen time and being on your phone and why we shouldn't spend so much time on our phone. Parenting styles, how your parents raised you, what they brought you up believing, how they, how they disciplined you, how they talked to you about what was going on. School performance, team sports participation, all of these things can affect your self-esteem. And if you have low self-esteem, if you're in a situation where you feel unloved as a person, that low self-esteem is going to affect your level of confidence. So today I just want to focus more so on the practical things you can do to start building up your confidence. And in the future, I'm also going to dive deeper into building a sense of healthy self-esteem and what that takes, even if you're at odds and things are kind of working against you, small things you can do to work on that. But for today, we're just focusing on confidence. So I want to jump into the first point here, guys. Let me just set it up. Rage Master says yes about limit social media. Yeah, Rage. I know you've been asking for that for a while, so I'm excited to put that one together. I think it's going to be a really, really interesting thing to dive into. I've been reading more into the research behind it as well, reading a lot of different papers, a lot of different studies to get a good understanding, at least the best that I can, right? As a normal person here, the best that I can to see what's the appropriate amount of screen time. How does being on the screen too much affect us in a negative way? I'm going to dive into all those things. But let's look at the first point here, and that's going to be this. Healthy body image, guys. As you move further into puberty, so let me explain this first. So when I talk about the four shocking factors that can boost your confidence, each of these factors are going to be things that I want you guys to think about in your own life. How do I perceive these things, right? When we talk about having a healthy body image, that could be how do you perceive your own body image, right? So do you feel like acne is something that makes you feel less confident? Do you feel like it's stuff like here, as I noticed, as you start to enter into puberty, and I think most of you guys are, right? You guys are in that puberty affects you up until your early 20s. I forgot what the exact age is, but up until your early 20s. So if you're somewhere anywhere between the age of, let's say, 12 and 24, your body is still growing and your body's still changing. And what ends up happening sometimes is we find ourselves comparing ourselves to others, right? That guy is really, really tall. That guy has facial hair. That guy is super muscular. I'm covered in acne. Or if you're, that girl is fully developed and has breasts and I don't. Her body's beginning to be curvaceous and stuff like that. All these different changes start to happen in our bodies, and we start to compare ourselves to our peers. We start to look at others and feel like, wow, like they're so much better off than I am. I'm this dorky little person. I'm this little shrimp compared to them. We start to classify ourselves in this negative way, and we start to reduce our own sense of confidence simply because, we're comparing ourselves to others there. So developing a healthy body image is to recognize that, your body's evolving and your body's changing, and you can't expect it to fully change overnight. It's going to take time. But the question I think you have to ask yourself then is, well, okay, if you feel like you're struggling with having a healthy body image, or you feel like that's not where you are right now, what do you do if you can't stop comparing yourself to others? How do you deal with it? What are small steps you can take? Well, here are some small steps I think you can take to work on building a healthier body image. Oh, I forgot to place these. No, wrong one. There we go. I'll probably have to move these for all the stream, but okay. These are some of the examples I would give you guys for developing a healthy body image. First one is remove yourself from toxic environments that thrive on comparison and criticism. This is an important one. I'm going to dive into this a little bit more, but first let me get to Hamish's super chat. Hamish, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. Hamish said, Josh, I can really relate to that. My mom and used to have very violent fights every time I came back from primary school when I was 5. Yeah, Hamish, I hear you on that. Seeing a lot of fighting in the home, a lot of arguing between your parents, a lot of disagreement and discontent where there's a sense of disharmony in the home can really have an impact on you, right? Feeling like your parents are not working together or feeling like the family's a bit separated can make you also feel like, okay, well, if my parents don't love each other, maybe they don't love me. Or if they're always fighting, maybe I'm the reason why they're fighting. We start to as younger, younger children, we start to try to rationalize these things and make sense of them, when sometimes it's not that easy. Sometimes it's very complicated. But to your point, Hamish, yeah, I mean, these things can have a major effect on us. And that's why I said I was trying to really establish, like, a healthy self-esteem is in large part affected by your environment. Large part affected by your environment. What you grow up observing, what you grow up seeing, who you interact with, all these different things can affect your environment. And Hamish, I know for you that you shared with me in the past, you've encountered and you've dealt with a lot of challenging things growing up. And that can definitely affect your self-esteem. And in turn, that'll affect your confidence going up, because you may struggle with being more confident in certain areas because maybe you're more doubtful because of something you encountered as a kid. Or maybe you're more shy because you were told not to speak up, or you were chastised for speaking up. All these different things can affect us. It's super, super important, guys. This is why I'm always trying to remind you guys, it is so incredibly important to be mindful of our behaviors, of the way that we speak to others, of the way that we interact with others. Because what you may think is, I'm just joking around, or I'm just teasing them, it's not that big of a deal, can deeply affect someone. It can affect their relationships. It can affect their relationship with themselves. It can affect whether they can concentrate and focus on in school. There's a huge correlation between kids who are being bullied and their performance in school. So kids who are bullied for a long period of time tend to do worse on tests and exams, and it's harder for them to focus. It's harder for them to focus in class because they're so distracted with, is someone going to beat me up today? Is someone going to call me names? Is someone going to make fun of me? Is someone going to steal my notebook? There's a lot of worries that pull them away from school. So, Hamish, thank you for bringing that to our attention here, guys. Like I said, be mindful of your behaviors, because the energy you put out there to someone else can deeply affect them. And as you hope that people bring positive energy to you, it's important for us to bring it to them too. But I know this is a way more technical stream than maybe 5 texts you should send or 5 dating things, but I feel like it's a really important topic because, I tried to do a lot of research too on YouTube to see when people talk about confidence, what are they talking about? And I feel like a lot of the confidence advice tends to stem from, bro, just do it. Just don't care. Just put yourself out there. And I feel like there's a big piece that's missing. And that big piece that's missing is really recognizing what our challenges are, what our struggles are, and where we need help, where we need to reach out for help too. So I want to fill that piece in because I don't think that there are a lot of YouTubers that are really focusing on that. Let me take 1 second here. Just take a water break. By the way, guys, is the microphone still scratchy? Is it a little bit better now? I lowered the gain. I wonder if it was because I had high gain on it. But we'll see. I still have to play around with the settings and see. Let me jump in here and look at some of the Davidio says, how can teachers better prevent bullying? That's a really, really good question, Davidio. I think that a big part of, as a teacher, what you can do to try to prevent bullying is, one, try to create an open space in your classroom so that kids can talk to you about it, right? A lot of times, kids who are being bullied don't know who to talk to. Maybe they're scared to tell their parents because they think their parents are going to, get upset with them. How dare you, why didn't you say this sooner? Don't let that happen. Kids are kind of worried they're going to get bullied, so they may not want to tell their parents, and they may not want to tell their friends because their friends might make fun of them. So their teacher might be a safer person to talk to. So as a teacher, letting your students know that they can open up to you and they can share those things with you, creating that space really, really helps them. But let me jump back into that point here, guys. I was walking you through some of the examples here. Remove yourself from toxic environments that thrive on comparison and criticism. I put this point in here specifically because as I'm also diving more into kind of the incel and black pill communities, what are the conversations that are being had there? What is the information being shared? I really, really noticed that a lot of times the heavy focus in those communities is on comparison and criticism. Comparing yourself to other people, right? I think people in the incel and black pill communities, and I use that somewhat interchangeably, although I know that they don't always overlap. I think that a lot of times there is this heavy comparison, me versus the Chad, me versus the good looking guy. And, I'm ugly and he's good looking and that's why he gets all the girls. And there's a lot of criticism there. There's a lot of self-criticism. So if you're in a toxic environment, if you're in a type of community or environment that all people do is criticize others, make fun of them, tease them, remove yourself from that. That's the first way to start to work on building a healthy body image. Second thing here Identify the admirable qualities you like about yourself that have nothing to do with your body image. And here's the thing too, guys. You know, we get so hung up and so focused on the little particular things. My ears are too big. My nose is weird. My hair is awkward. And we totally neglect the real values that we just bring to the table. Hey, I'm a really good friend. I really care about my friends. I check in with them. Hey, you know what? I'm a pretty creative person. I've written a song or two. I have a YouTube channel. Think of the different attributes and the admirable qualities that you bring to the table. Because let's say physical looks isn't your shining attribute, there's still so much more to you than that. So, I think where we put our attention, sometimes we put our attention solely on our looks as if our looks are the whole of who we are. And it's just not true. It's just not true. And the third part here is be honest about what limitations you have that are the result of your body image and what are driven by mindset. Yeah. A lot of times, because of comparison, we might think, oh my God, I'm fat. Oh my God, I'm not muscular enough. Oh my God, I'm too short, because we're stuck in this comparison phase. But if you recognize your limitations, hey, you know what? I'm a short guy. That's where I am. I can accept it, and then I can focus on other elements of my life. I can't change my height. It's just something that I am. Hey, I'm someone that may have a learning disability. Hey, I'm someone that may have vision. I may be vision impaired. I may be deaf. I may have all these different challenges that a person may run into. Recognize what your realistic limitations are. Work towards accepting them, and then focus on the things that you do bring to the table that you can share and raise and kind of put out there. So that's the first step, first factor, I think, that can really, really boost your confidence, guys. It really is a matter of developing a healthy body image. If you can really work on that, if you can work on learning to love your body as is, this is the only body you have. If you can work on learning to love that body as you are, I think you're going to really start to build more confidence in yourself. I want to jump into a chat poll here, guys, because I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say. Let me start the poll. Oh, something went wrong. Let me refresh the page. But yeah, I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say. Diving into, okay, we started it. Let's see. Poll. No. Let me go back. It says it's active. Where's the poll? View active poll. Okay, the poll's not showing for some reason. So we'll jump in, guys. Audio's still crackly. I got to look into that. I got to see what's going on there with the audio. Thank you for pointing out, Hamish. All right, the poll's not showing for some reason. I got to look into it. But anyway, the question I wanted to ask you guys is this. Do you frequently compare yourself to others? Jump into the chat and answer here, and your name will pop up on the side there. Yes, no. Where do you guys stand on that? Do you find yourself constantly comparing yourself to others? Do you look at people that may have a bigger social media following, or are more good looking, or are more popular, and feel like you're just not at their level, and you just sit there worrying and wondering, like, how come I'm not as good as them? How come I'm not as cool as them? How come I'm not as funny or as smart or anything like that? Do you ever kind of find yourself in that place? I think we all do to some degree from time to time. I know I do as well. I look at other, let's say, YouTubers, and I say, darn, man, like they look like they got it all figured out, and I'm still struggling to put things together here. So I think if you are someone that does struggle with that body image and you're worrying about kind of like how you operate in comparison to others, like I said, remove yourself from the toxic communities, focus on the positive things you bring to the table, and then recognize your limitations of what you're capable of and what you're not capable of. Let me jump in and see what some of you guys are saying here. I asked you guys the questions. Do you find yourself comparing yourself to others? Jalen says, "Hi Josh, I'm losing my confidence in my crush because of what happened. Do you think she wants to? Do you think she will want to talk to me?" Yeah, Jalen. I mean, I know you've been struggling with that for a long time now, right? Getting your crush to kind of open up and talk to you. And I know in the past that they blocked you and then they haven't responded to your messages. I understand your frustration. I still think the best thing, Jalen, is to kind of let her go, because it seems like she's just not engaging, not interested. Let's see. Alex Burns says, yes. Hamish, yes. Rage Master, yes, all the time, especially on social media. Let me see if it popped up here. Nope, still not working. Maybe it'll work on the next one. B Bowler says, no, never. I'm a leader. That's awesome, man. Carter says, yes, all the time. Jalen says, yes, a lot. Poppy April says, not as much as I used to. Jalen says, yes, a lot. St. Clement says, no, never. Azim says, you mentioned anyone who doesn't is a liar, but can someone really go through life without comparing to others? Well, I wouldn't say that they're a liar. Technically, I guess so, but that's such a strong word to use for this because it's like we all do it. It's a normal, natural thing. Look, comparing yourself to others doesn't always have to be a negative thing, right? It can also allow you to see, oh, cool, you know what? They had a really creative way to approach that. Let me try that too. That's a comparison. I think where comparing ourselves to others can kind of lead in a bad way is if we are beating ourselves up for not being at a level that we think we should be at. Like, oh, you know what? He's had so many girlfriends and I've never had a girlfriend and that sucks and I'm a loser. That's the level where I think comparing yourself can go negative. But looking through your guys' answers here, a lot of you guys said yes. A lot of you guys have found yourself in a place where you're comparing yourself to others. I think it's a reality of things, right? We need to kind of recognize that that's the reality sometimes. But let's jump into the second point here, guys. The second factor you're definitely going to want to look for and you're going to want to think about to see if you can work on building your confidence and boosting it is this. Having a positive social environment. This is a super, super important one. Guys, being surrounded, I'm going to read here what I wrote here. Being surrounded by supportive parents and friends in a school setting where you can thrive will help foster positive self-esteem. If you have loving, caring parents that look after you, that ask you how you're doing, that show emotional care in your lives, that's going to help set you up to feel more confident, to have higher self-esteem, and therefore to feel more confident in yourself. If you have a strong friend network, people that care about you, people that check in with you, people that motivate you and push you to succeed, that's going to help you develop strong confidence. Also, having access to opportunities where you can pursue a lifestyle that you want will help you thrive. If you're in an environment where you're allowed to try things, you're allowed to mess up, you're allowed to take chances. And if you try something and mess up, everyone around you isn't going to criticize you or tear you down or make fun of you for doing it. You're going to be more likely to keep trying new things. You're going to feel like, yeah, you know what? I can take my chances. I can try new things. I can push my limits and see what I'm capable of. You're going to realize how realistic of a possibility that actually is for you because the people around you are going to support you in doing that. So if you want to really build your confidence, it comes down to having a positive social environment. So the question you have to ask is, so what can you do if you don't have a positive environment around you? Listen, not everyone has parents that are super supportive or take the time to listen to you. Not everyone has a close friend group. Sometimes people do feel like loners. Sometimes people do feel like they don't have anyone on their side or anyone they can talk to. So what do you do? How do you handle that? Well, here are my suggestions, guys. Again, I forgot to move all these before. I would say that if you want to start working on building a positive social environment, the first thing you can try doing is join a community that is focused on helping others and making a difference in the world. Wink, wink. Guys, this is why I created our Josh Speaks Discord community. This is exactly why. I feel like a lot of you guys are dealing with similar struggles or running into certain challenges in life that realizing that there are other people just like you that are struggling, but they're trying their best to get through it. And communicating with them and talking to them and developing friendships is going to help you start to realize that, you can take a chance. You can try something. Let's say there's a girl that you want to ask out, but you don't really know who to talk to about it, or you don't know who to ask for advice. Having a community where you can say, hey guys, there's a girl I like. I want to ask her on a Friday, but I don't know what to say. What do you guys think I can do? And they can give you their opinions. They can kind of give you support. They can be there for you. Let's say you ask around and it doesn't work out. They can be there to help you as well. Let me pull that up really quickly here in case anyone is curious. Donna, thank you for sharing the link in there, guys. But I still got to change these backgrounds. This is our Discord channel, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. So if you feel like you don't have a community or a group around you, people to support you, to hear you out, a place where you can be honest and open about your life, join our Discord community. I think this is the best place that you can do that. It's a really, I would say, a thriving and amazing community of helpful people that are really caring. And I think that it's a great place to really, really kind of, open up and share who you are. So check it out, guys. Go to thejoshspeaks.com/discord. It's a free and open community available to everyone. I think it'll be a helpful place for you. So I wanted to just share that. But jumping back in here, the second thing I would recommend is cut out negative or toxic people that aim to bring you down and make you feel small. This is similar to the first point about leaving toxic communities and environments, but if there are people in your life, individual people that you feel are negative, let's say you have a friend that makes fun of you for something that happened to you in your past. Let's say you have a friend that teases you or mocks you or belittles you or doesn't talk to you. He just talks over you all the time. That might be the type of person you want to cut out from your life. That might be the kind of person that you realize, hey, you know what? This is not a person that is going to help me grow. They actually are just bringing me down. Every time I talk to them, I feel bad. I feel nervous and anxious and scared. Cut those negative people out. They're not serving you in a positive way, and they're not helping you grow. And what you really want to do is to have that positive social environment. You want to be surrounded by people that want to see you succeed and thrive. And the third one here is have real conversations with the people close to you about how you feel and what you need from them. Guys, let me explain this one a little bit. I mentioned also part of having a positive social environment is having loving, caring parents. And not all of us are gifted with that, right? Some of us have a parent that's good, and maybe both parents are good. Some of us have no parents in our lives that are caring and loving. Whether it's siblings, whether it's parents, whether it's grandparents, whether it's a guardian of any kind, be open to talking to them about how you feel. I know sometimes it's scary to be honest and to say, hey, listen, when you yell at me, it makes me feel really bad. It makes me feel like you don't see me or hear me. Hey, when you tell me you love me only when I do well in school and you tell me that I'm dumb when I fail in school, it really makes me feel like you don't see me or you're not willing to help me get through those tough moments. These are going to be real difficult conversations to have because it's scary. It's scary sometimes to bring those things up to your parents, but it's super important to have a positive social environment. It's going to come down to you having conversations with people, letting them know what you need from them. Maybe you need kindness. Maybe you need support. Maybe you need space. Maybe you need love. Whatever it is, think deeply about what it is you need in that relationship and share that with them. That's going to be the way that you're going to start to build this positive social environment and build up your confidence as well. So let's try it again. I'll try the second chat poll here. All right, started the poll. Got to figure out why Streamlabs is so weird sometimes. Nope, polls are not working for some reason, guys. I don't know why. All right, well, I'll just ask you guys the question. You guys can jump in and answer. The question I wanted to ask you is, do you have a group or a person or a community that you can turn to for help? Is there a place that you go? Is there a person you can turn to? Write it in the chat, guys. Write who that is for you. Is it your parents? Is it a parent? Is it a sibling? Is it a close friend? Is it a group of friends? Is it an online community? Type it in the chat. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. I know because a bunch of you have messaged me that you've said that the Discord has been a good place for you to kind of make friends and to open up and feel like you're not alone and feel like there are people on this journey of life with you. So I'm happy that the Discord can provide that for some of you guys. Some of you may have close friends that it's like, hey, I can talk to my friend about anything. I know they always have my back. I know they're on my side. Nigel Williams says mom. Yeah, look, sometimes turning to your mom or your dad or your parent and just knowing that no matter how much you mess up or no matter what you get wrong, they're going to love you unconditionally because you're their child and they care about you and they want to see you succeed. Having that person or that group in your life is going to be so beneficial to helping boost your confidence. Let me see what the rest of you guys are saying in here. Hamish says Discord and friends. I love that, Hamish. I'm happy for you, man. Carter says, hey, Josh, do you remember me from last week's live on Instagram? Of course I do, Carter. I'm happy you're part of the live stream. I'm happy you're here, man. Anthony Cuentos says, I really don't got anyone. I'm sorry to hear that, Anthony. I mean, I know that you're involved in the different Discord communities, and I know you have some close friends, but I understand where you're coming from. Sometimes online friends may not fully fill that space of what we need. Maybe that an in-person friend can. So I understand where you're coming from on that. I hear you on that. Voldy says the Discord. Dono says the Josh Speaks community. That's awesome. Justin says, Justin DeNicola says no. Justin, I'm sorry to hear that. I would highly, highly recommend joining our Discord. I think that would be a great place for you to kind of find people that you can open up to. It's free and open. If you join it and it's not really your thing, you can always leave the Discord, and that's totally fine too. Alex Burns says no. Alex, same thing with you. I know that you pop into the Discord from time to time, but feel free to share your thoughts in there and to join the chats. Let's see. Jalen says, I have an uncle I can talk to about girls and sometimes friends. That's awesome. Yeah. Look, sometimes maybe talking to an older male, maybe it's your father, your uncle, or an older brother, as a guy maybe can make you feel more comfortable opening up about girls that maybe you don't feel comfortable talking to your mom about. Some people are in that situation. I understand that too. So having an uncle in your life, Jalen, you can communicate with is amazing, man. I'm happy for you. Hamish says, my parents. That's awesome, Hamish. I'm happy for you, man. Rage Master says, Discord, I'm probably a sibling, but Discord is the Josh Speaks. This is the Josh Speaks. You're watching the Josh Speaks. Ravage says, I have a little friend group that I goof around with, and they ideally boost my confidence every week. That's awesome, Ravage. Yeah, look, having a close group of friends can really, really boost your confidence in your stuff. Yancey says, hey Josh, what do I do when me and my friend get into an argument in Snapchat if I felt so annoyed and angry about it? Yeah, Yancey, I hear you on that. If you got into an argument with your friend on Snapchat, maybe take some time, let your kind of emotions kind of calm down a bit so that when you do approach the conversation, you're not going into it angry. And then think about why you guys fought. Think about why you guys got into an argument there. And maybe you'll see, hey, you know what? Maybe I was being too mean, or maybe he said something that's mean. Maybe we can talk more about it openly. St. Clement of Roman Church says, a Discord online community and my mom, but about dating stuff to a friend, not my mom, and about other stuff to my mom. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Happy to hear that. Noah Anderson says, hi. How you doing, Noah? Good to have you too. So that's the second point here, guys. That's the second thing I wanted to point out here. And like I said, we have our Discord community. I'd love to have you as a member of it. I feel like I think it'd be a great place for you to make friends, to meet with other people, to talk about what's going on in your life. So I would highly, highly recommend joining the Discord if you're not already a member. I also want to say this, guys, that if you feel like you want to talk to me about what's going on in your life, I do offer one-on-one coaching, right? So by becoming a Patreon member or a YouTube channel member, you and me can meet every single month for a one-on-one coaching session. Depending on I have different levels, so we can meet as little as 30 minutes every single month just to check in, or we can meet as much as an hour every single week, and I can offer you real coaching in the process. My focus in coaching is helping people build their confidence and also working on helping them build their self-esteem in the process. So if you feel like building your confidence is something that you're really struggling with, and you want to work with a mentor on that, that's what I'm available for, guys. If you go to patreon.com/thejoshspeaks, you can become a Patreon member. Plus, there's some really cool perks with it. Not only do we have our one-on-one, video chats, you also get invited to our community group chat, so you get to jump on a video call with the other Patrons. I shout you out in my videos. You'll see your name in the end credits, and you get to use these special Josh emojis every single time you post here in the live stream or anywhere in my community. So if you guys really want to work with me one-on-one, Patreon is going to be the best way to do that. We can work on building your confidence, and I can help you every step of the way. Talk through dating situations, life situations, whatever it may be. I also want to say this, guys, that, let me pull it up here. If you have just a simple question you want to ask me, I know a lot of you guys send me Instagram DMs, but I'm not always as responsive there. You can always shoot me a text as well. This is my phone number, my texting number. So if you have a quick question, you just want to get my opinion on something, jump in and shoot me a text, and I'll jump in and respond as soon as I can. I usually get to my texts pretty frequently. I check them every single day. So definitely jump on, shoot me a text, guys, if you have questions on there. It's also a good way to I send text messages to let you guys know when I'm doing new videos, let you guys know what's going on, and it's like to kind of check in with you guys there. So shoot me a text, 1-718-400-7129, and I'll give you a quick response whenever I can. All right, let's jump into the third shocking factor here, guys, that can boost your confidence. If you haven't already hit the thumbs up on this video, we're at 27 likes. We can definitely get this to 30. We have 35 people. We can get this to 30 in no time. Let's do it, guys. All right. Number 3, guys. Let's look at point number 3. Shravan says, Josh, quick question. What's your question? Let's look at point number 3. Access to success. Now, I phrased it like that, having access to success, because it isn't so much about the ability to succeed, it's about having the access to succeed. And not everyone has that. Shravan says, how do I become a life coach like you? No problem, Shravan. Shoot me a message and I will walk you through what I did to kind of get to the step that the place that I am. But I'll answer any questions you have on wanting to be a life coach. And if any of you guys too want to work on helping others as well, I'll share everything I know with you as well. Having access to success is something some of us are given, some of us are not. So what I wrote here was participating in things where you can thrive and showcase your success will help you feel more accomplished and confident. Whether it's school or hobbies, making friends, finding a partner, meeting your goals will help you aim higher and achieve more. So some of us may live in rural areas where it's very hard to make friends, to go out. COVID has definitely made things incredibly difficult for people to socialize and to kind of hang out with friends in real life. But if you are lucky enough to have an opportunity where you can pursue the things that you want, maybe you can form a band with your friends. Maybe it's, you can join an online community and you can kind of work on a hobby there. I know some of you guys are working on YouTube channels. Some of you guys do music. Some of you guys do art. Some of you guys are coders and programmers. Having the ability to succeed, having the access to succeed where you're in a school that maybe is teaching you those things, you have the money to pursue it, right? This is also another big thing, having the money to pursue these things. Maybe you love music, but you can't afford an instrument. And because of that, you don't have access to success. You don't have access to get there. These can be the real roadblocks and challenges that come to us, right? These real life things that make us go, darn, I really want to do this, but I can't afford it. Or I just don't have enough time because I have to take care of my family or my siblings. These are the real life roadblocks that get in our way. Plus, if you are constantly met with failure along the way, if you're constantly met with hardships, you may feel like, well, how can I ever succeed in this if I don't even have the opportunity to? Maybe you've never been given the chance. And because of that, you just feel like, how can I succeed? Well, the question I would ask you is, so what do you do if you're constantly met with failure at every turn? This is what I would suggest, guys. If you're in a situation where you don't have that access to success and to succeed in the way that you want to, I would recommend this. I'd recommend moving this little video thing here. Okay. First one is think deeply about what matters to you and what you truly enjoy doing. This is important, guys. I'm not saying figure out what your life's mission and purpose is right now, because trust me, that is going to change. It's going to change in a year. It's going to change in 5 years. It's going to change in 10 years. As you get older, you start to come into who you are. You start to figure out what you like and what you don't like. But take some time now and ask yourself that question. What do I enjoy? What makes me happy? What do I feel allows me to thrive? Where can I invest my energy and my time into that I'm going to enjoy it? Second one is find a mentor that cares about your well-being and can guide you towards positive activities. This is an important one too, guys. If there's something that you really want to succeed at in life, the best thing you can do is to find a mentor to help you get there. So let's take music as an example. Let's say you want to become a musician. Well, the best thing you can do is look up a mentor, whether it's a person who has a YouTube channel that's teaching you how to play different strings on the guitar, or maybe it's someone that you can go to for training, or someone you can ask questions about. What's the best instrument to get? What should I get for calluses on my finger? All these different questions you can ask. Having a mentor, someone who's gone through the process and they can share that wisdom with you, is one of the best things you can do to figure out your path to success. Because like I said, we don't all have the same opportunities. Some of us have more opportunities and more privileges than others. So we need to recognize what our access is and then operate within that framework. And a mentor can help us see, hey, you know what? I didn't have enough money to buy an instrument, so I would rent it. Maybe that's something you can do too. Mentors can give you that kind of advice. Third one is take small steps to work on and improve the areas you're struggling in. It's very easy to feel like you lack the confidence in yourself if you don't have the opportunity to present yourself and try, right? That's something I think a lot of people struggle with. So taking small steps might be, you know what? Maybe I can't afford a video camera right now to start my YouTube channel. I just don't have enough money for that. So instead of a video camera, maybe I'm going to use my phone and have my phone be my camera. It really is about taking small steps to get there and saying, what are tiny little things I could do? Maybe it's not going to be the best, but it's going to allow me to try it. It's going to allow me to learn. And it is that process of trying and failing and succeeding and learning and growing, that whole process of figuring things out. That's the real learning process. That's where the confidence is developed. Because the more you work on that learning process, the more you work on what you're trying to accomplish, how you're going to get there, the easier it's going to be for you to start to say, you know what? It's not so scary. If I failed, that's okay. I'm alive and I can continue trying. So that's the third point I wanted to share, guys, that access to success. I want to jump in and get another chat poll going here, guys. And that's going to be this. I got to figure out a better system than the Streamlabs poll. Maybe I got to use the actual Streamlabs. Regarding the life coaching thing, I dropped a message on Discord. Awesome. Yeah, I'll reach back out to you and stuff, and I'll share my thoughts on what you can do. Third question I want to ask you here for the chat poll, guys. I want every single person watching to jump in and answer this question here. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Do you have a vision or an idea of what you want to do with your life? Like I said, it doesn't have to be this grand master plan of I'm going to do this, but do you have an idea generally of what it is you want to do? Sorry. Maybe it's the topics you like. Maybe it's a certain field you want to look into. Maybe you want to be a comedian. Maybe you want to be a carpenter. There's a lot of different things you may have interest in, and I'm curious what they are. What are some of your guys' interests? Let me look at some of the chat here going on. Joe Smith says, hey, Josh, how do I cope with feeling less experienced and generally insecure compared to my friends? Yeah, it's a really good question, Joe. All of us have different levels of experience, right? Some of your friends are going to succeed at things that you're going to go, how the heck did they do that so fast? And sometimes you're going to succeed at things and they're going to say the same question. The best way to kind of not compare yourself is to really, really focus on what steps you're actively taking and how you're learning from that process. So let's say your friends are more experienced with talking to girls they like, and that's something you struggle with, something you're insecure about. Well, in a situation like that, you might want to say, okay, you know what? Instead of looking at them and looking and seeing how easy it is for them, let me ask myself, what am I doing? Every time I start a conversation, I get nervous. Okay, I get nervous when I start a conversation. What can I do to feel less nervous? Well, maybe I can prepare things to say ahead of time. Maybe I can have practice conversations with people. Maybe I can, script an opener and practice with that in the beginning. There's a bunch of things you can do that are small steps that are not focused on others, but focusing on your own growth. Azim, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Azim says, in the past, you said nothing guarantees you find a partner. So are some people, even celebrities like Emma Watson, declaring themselves self-partnered? Can you be happy? That's a good question, Azim. Look, the truth is, it is true. No one can guarantee anything for you in life, right? There's no guarantee that someone else in this world of their own choice will choose you, right? We all have our own mind and our own body and our own thoughts. So to think like I'm owed someone liking me, I'm owed someone wanting to be with me, it's just not true. And even someone like Emma Watson, who's a mega celebrity, who's a beautiful girl, who's super popular and super liked by and adored by so many people, she can make the decision to self-partner and just feel like, I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to focus on my own growth. I'm not going to concern myself maybe with finding a partner. Now look, that may be something that she decides for the entirety of her life, or it may be something that she focuses on for a few years and then decides to get into a relationship if she meets someone. Either way, I think ultimately we have to recognize that we are all on this journey by ourselves and we connect with other people, right? We're not on the journey having the same exact experiences with others, but we can connect with them because our experiences are similar. Our experiences overlap in a way where we can say, hey, I've been in that type of situation before. This is how I handled it. How did you handle it? So ultimately to your question, can you be happy? I think the answer is yes. I think that you can be happy being totally self-sufficient, deciding to self-partner and being by yourself, and not pursuing, let's say, a romantic relationship. There's plenty of people that, choose not to engage in romantic relationships or choose not to take on a partner and just want to be single. And that's okay too. I think ultimately, if the decision is made because you feel like it's going to be one that helps you thrive and it's not made in anger or bitterness or, pessimism, I feel like then I think it's a good move. But if it's made in those steps, if it's made in I'm angry and it's like, not to caricature or characterize, but some of the things I've encountered along the way in learning about MGTOW, men going their own way, feels like it leans towards that. There's this annoyance and anger at women, so they've decided I'm saying for the people that I've encountered, not the entire movement, because everyone in it's different. People I've encountered that have done videos, basically it's like women suck. You can't trust them. They're slaves to their nature, whatever it is, all the stuff they believe, and they decide, I'm not going to get involved. I'm not going to waste my time with it. So there's a bit of negativity and angst that comes with it for their reasons. I would say if you're leaning on that side, I would really explore it deeper. If you're leaning towards, you know what, I want to focus on myself and I'm happy about that, and I'm good with it, then I think you're good to go. I think that's totally fine. But so yeah, I asked you guys, do you have a vision for what you want to do in your life? And I apologize that I didn't get to answer the questions. If you didn't already answer it, or you want to jump in and answer it again, I'm going to scroll back up and see what you guys are saying here. Because I'm really curious to hear what you guys have to say. Let's see. Sports Life says, hey Josh, do you remember me? I've been in your stream before. Yeah, I totally remember you, Sports Life. How's it going? Sports Life says, I want to play basketball, but that's hard. I hear you on that. Look, pursuing sports and then succeeding as an athlete is pretty tough, but it's still something you can do, right? You can pursue sports and maybe take the college route of basketball, or maybe take high school route of basketball. You know, you don't always have to play in the NBA to feel super secure and super happy. You could still do smaller levels of it and still be okay with it. Sashin says, yeah, I have a vision on what I want to do. I'd love to hear it, Sashin. What's your vision? Let's see. Anthony says, my dream plan is to be a general manager in the NFL, but realistically, I have no idea. That's an awesome dream job, man. It's a tough one to get, to be a general manager, but yeah, dude, there's nothing wrong with dreaming big like that and saying, you know what, this thing looks like a really fun job. I would love to do it. Let me explore stuff related to football. Let me learn more about football. How would I even get involved in that? What can I do? Maybe I can help manage a smaller football team. Maybe it's a younger kids football team for now, and be a manager and get practice there. There's a lot of small steps I think you could take. Jalen says, yes, play Barney in Suit. No one realized how hard it is to get it down. Ask David Joyner. Yeah, look, wearing one of those Barney suits and dinosaur suits is not easy, man. It's a pretty tough thing to do. Rage says, I'm not sure yet. I'm in between. Yeah, I hear you on that. I'm kind of close enough, but I'm going to try to figure it out. That's awesome. So what are you leaning towards right now, Rage? I'm curious to hear that. Jared says, generally, it needs some polishing, but I have the basics. Cool. What is the thing that you're kind of working on there? Dono says, I don't know what I want to do. I know it has something to do with computers. I think that's a really good move, Dono. I think you're a super, super smart guy. I think that, you know, that's a field you would excel in, and that's a place where I think you'd have a lot of fun too. Alex says, I want to do Harry Potter. Do what Harry Potter did. Well, what did Harry Potter do that you want to do, Alex? I'm curious. Myriad says, I love women. That's awesome. That's cool, man. Austin says, my dream job is to bag groceries. You know, listen, there are plenty of people who bag groceries and communicate with people and talk to those everyday customers, and they make their day, and they enjoy having that nice, simple life that go to work, interact with people, come home. If you can take care of yourself, if you don't have to deal with the stress of bills and things hanging over your head, and you can make it as a grocery bagger, then I think that's okay too. Cheesy says, I'm the next Hendrix. It's cool. I don't doubt it, Cheesy. I think you're a pretty good guitarist. I feel like you played last time. I feel like you played a little bit last time on I think it was our call on the group chat, the community hangout. Cheesy says, in the future, I want to be an esports commentator. I don't doubt that. You know, I don't doubt that for a second. I think you're totally going to get there, man. I know you're heavily involved in that world. I think that's really, really cool. B-Bowler says, I want to be in the NBA, a chef, and a coder. That's awesome. Those are really, really awesome dreams, man. I love that. Azim says, I don't get it. My coworker told me she was divorced, but I literally saw her with her husband today when running in the park. Obviously, I know I got to stay away now, but I'm so pissed at her for lying. Yeah, Azim, this is going to be kind of tricky to understand too, because it's like, you mentioned too that she has a kid. So that most likely means that she co-parents with her ex-husband, so that she may be divorced, but she may still co-parent, meaning she may still talk to the dad, may still interact with him, may still meet up with him. They are probably going to continue having some type of close connection. That's most likely a guarantee because they share a child and they have a child they take care of. And I understand it's frustrating for you because you want to pursue her, but you don't really know where she stands. It's a difficult situation to navigate, but I think it is going to require a bit of patience and understanding. And I think the more you talk to her, Azim, the more you're really going to dive in and see where does she stand with him. Jared says, I'm glad you brought up the music example because it feels like it directly applies to me. That's awesome. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys are very interested in music and want to pursue that. So I wanted to kind of use that as an example. But that's the third point that I mentioned there, guys. That was your access to success. You know, let's jump into the fourth shocking factor that can boost your confidence, and that's going to be this: a strong inner voice. Oh wow, we're already at the hour mark. A strong inner voice, guys. I'm going to read what I wrote here. Feeling seen and heard will allow you to realize that what you have to share is important. Expressing your feelings and not always being met with criticizing will give you the chance to think outside the box and be more open. So I believe each and every single one of you has a deep and strong voice inside of you that is worth sharing, right? But sometimes you may run into situations where people make fun of you for your opinions or your ideas, where people belittle you for the dreams that you have, where you feel like you can't speak up and be open about things that you like because people are not going to understand you. Part of developing real confidence comes from having that strong inner voice, believing that you have something that's worth sharing, something that can be helpful and beneficial to others. And I think that if you can work on building that strong voice, what you're really going to see is that, hey, you know what? I can be outspoken. I can speak my mind. I can talk about what matters to me. And I know that I have something important to share. But the question ends up being, how do you handle feeling small and insignificant? Like what you have to say just doesn't matter at all. What do you do if you don't have that strong inner voice? If you do doubt yourself, if you do feel like what you have to say doesn't matter, how do you handle that? Before I get into the answer there, let me respond to Hamish's £5 super chat. Hamish, thank you so much for that. Hamish said, I want to be the same as Cheesy, a guitar star for life. That's awesome, Hamish. I think you could do it, man. I think that, you keep up the practice. I just saw your cover, or you're not, is it a cover or is it you're playing alongside the music? I don't know what the technical term is, but the video you posted on Instagram of you playing Hamish, I thought it was really, really good, man. I saw you having, I just saw the excitement and fun in your face. So I'm proud of you for, one, taking the time to kind of practice the song, and then two, putting yourself out there, man. It could be scary to do, but I'm happy that you did, because you'll get feedback, you'll get, people's opinions, you'll get praise, you'll get criticism, you'll get it all, and you'll start to say, hey, you know what? How can I work on these things? Hamish and Cheesy are going to start a band. Hey, listen, that'd be really cool if you guys did. But thank you so much for the £5 super chat, Hamish. I really, really appreciate it. Okay. Getting back to that fourth point, guys, I said to you guys, how do you deal with feeling small and insignificant? What do you do if you feel like your voice isn't heard? If people don't listen to you, if people don't care about what you have to say, what do you do? Well, here are some, moving this thing is the first thing I would recommend doing. Hold on. There we go. Here's what I would recommend. The first thing I would say is this: find a creative way to express your thoughts and feelings. Make it public or private. Just like Hamish just said, he's working on guitar. And like I said, Hamish made a video and put himself out there. That's a good way to start to showcase your inner voice. A lot of times I know, as I speak to you guys, it's like you guys are, a bunch of you, you're all so smart and so intelligent and so funny and witty and creative. I see that in my interactions with you guys. I also see that in the Discord when you guys are communicating. All the memes you make, all the jokes you share, all the things that you do, all the interesting stuff that you guys put together. So what I would recommend is part of getting your voice out there is expressing yourself. Find a creative way to express yourself. If that is making music or making a YouTube video. I know Anthony, and other people, they're working on movie scripts and they do YouTube channels and stuff. So you guys all have different creative outlets. make it public or private. Maybe you want to do it just for yourself and share it with your friends, or just put it online in a private account. Maybe you want to make it public and share it with the world and get feedback. Either way, find a creative way to express yourself. That's going to help you start to build that inner voice. And when you start to put yourself out there more creatively, your confidence will naturally start to grow. Second point here is catch yourself whenever you start to downplay the praise of others. This is an important one. Sometimes we do something and someone says, oh, that's really good, but in our minds, we find a way to twist it and make ourselves feel like, no, I suck. No, I'm actually not that good. No, actually, it's not. We downplay our own value. This is exactly what I talked about in my last video. I'll link it up over here if you're watching the replay. I talked about this in the last video, guys. This idea of we criticize the things we share. Let's say I'm going to tell you a story. As I'm telling you the story, maybe I'm downplaying it, going, oh, it's really not that funny, or it was kind of stupid. I'm going to downplay it because if I downplay it, mentally I'm thinking then it's not going to hurt as much if it's boring to you. But catch yourself when you are downplaying other people's praise, other people's cherishing of you, other people's compliments. Catch yourself when you're doing those things and recognize, you know what? I'm doing it again. I'm overthinking this. I'm thinking negatively about myself. I'm putting myself down. Catch yourself when you do it. It's a strong piece. Third one, recognize that you have what it takes to be somebody great in this world. Guys, I say this all the time because I truly believe it. Recognize that you have what it takes to be somebody great. Listen, guys, I'll pull up the full screen for this because I want you guys to see me. I want you guys to really see me when I say this. There's no one else in this world exactly like you. Think about that. All the billions and billions of people that existed and the people that will exist, there will never be anyone exactly like you. With your thoughts, with your feelings, with your experiences, you truly are one of a kind. And as different as we all are, we're all somewhat also the same. We all have a body, we all have a mind, we all have, a voice, and then we can share. But I want you to really see, when I say you have what it takes to be somebody great, what I mean is there's a greatness inside of you that if you work on it, if you nurture it, if you put it out there into the world, it can help others. It can help yourself. So practice showcasing your inner voice. Know that you bring worth to the table. You have value in just being you. I can't stress this enough. I know how easy it is sometimes to fall into a negative headspace and to feel like I suck. I'm no good. Why would anyone care about me? Why would anyone want to date me? Why would anyone like me? But the value you put out there into the world is not measured by one person's opinion. It's measured by how you look at yourself. So building that strong sense of confidence comes from sharing your inner voice. Now, I want to take a step back and review the steps here, guys, just so that we can kind of get a good wrap on them, just so you guys get a good understanding. If you haven't already hit the thumbs up on this video, guys, let's take a look back. First thing I shared with you guys is this. There's a difference between self-esteem and self-confidence, right? This live stream, we're focusing on self-confidence. We're focusing on what are the strong beliefs that you can have that can help you accomplish what you want. Now, to build strong self-esteem, a large part of it is affected by your life experiences. The people you live in the home with, the education you have, the access to learning, the access to healthy eating, the access to, things other than TV time, how your parents treat you. That all affects your self-esteem. But when it comes to building self-confidence, guys, these are the 4 shocking factors that can boost your confidence. And the reason I say shocking factors is because, this isn't about just go out there and do it. It's about really processing and learning. Wow, I can build a good community around me. I can build strong values. I can do these things to really, really stand up. Carter says the strongest sign when someone has low confidence is when they make fun of other people. Absolutely, Carter. Absolutely. Here's the thing. If a person is in a place where they're attacking someone else, they're not lifting themselves up. They're bringing someone else down. So they're not growing. They're living as if they think they're growing, right? They're pulling others down. They're not lifting themselves up. So if a person is in that place where they're tearing others down, what are they building? They're not building anything. I think that's a really, really good point you made there, Carter. Thank you for sharing that. Like I said, the first factor here is having a healthy body image. Looking at yourself and not getting sucked into the idea of comparing yourself all the time and feeling like that person's better than me, that person's more attractive than me, that person's smarter or more popular. Recognize that you are who you are. You have your limitations, but you also bring a lot of awesome qualities to the table. And I want you to really highlight that and think deeply about what those are. The second point here is a positive social environment. If you are surrounded by people that care about you, people that want to lift you up, people that, are open to helping you through tough situations, whether it's a parent or a friend or a community, I think that having a positive social environment is going to help you feel more confident in yourself, because you're going to realize that even if you mess up, even if things don't go the way that you want, even if things don't work out as you anticipated, you have people to lean on. You have people that care about you. And you have people that really want to see you grow. So having that positive social environment is going to be super, super important. Alex Burns says, Harry Potter about the boy escaped the dark wizard. Harry starts to speak parse tongue if he not knowing, looking for a dark lord mind. Okay, so Alex, you had mentioned in the past you want to be like Harry Potter. And I think with Harry, he was able to escape, living at home and being a muggle, and he realized he's this great wizard, and he had to learn to harness those powers and help the world. He had to go through that hero's journey. I think you can go through that hero's journey too, Alex. I truly believe in you. But like I said, second one, positive social environment. Number 3, access to success. This can sometimes be limited depending on what we have access to. Maybe we maybe we don't have enough money to do the things we want to do. Maybe we're not in an area or not in a place in our lives where we can pursue it. Maybe you have more responsibilities that hold us back. I think the best thing you can do is to start to really narrow down and think deeply about what it is you enjoy. What makes you happy? What makes you feel like you are bringing value to this world? Think about what makes you feel alive. And try to find a mentor that can help you do that. Reach out to people that have also done those things and ask them, hey, I'd love to pick your brain and learn. How did you get to where you are? How do you do the things you do? Just like Shravan mentioned earlier, he wants to become a life coach, and he reached out to me. Shravan, I'd love to be your mentor and help you work on being a life coach. That's what it comes down to, guys. Finding people that you see are, hey, I like what they're doing. Let me try to learn from them. Let me try to gain from their experience too. So that's an important piece, guys. You're going to feel more confident in yourself if you realize that you are capable of achieving and going after the things that you want. And number 4, it's going to be this, guys. Having a strong inner voice. Recognizing that what you have to share is important, what you have to say matters, that a lot of times it's very easy to feel like why would anyone care about what you're saying? But if you care about your voice, if you care about your opinions, if you care about what you have to say in this world, I think other people will follow suit. And what matters most is not other people's opinions of you. What matters most is how you perceive yourself. If you believe that you have something valuable to share, then it's valuable. So recognize that you have what it takes to be somebody great here. I want you guys to truly, truly reflect on that as we head now into our mindful moment. It's my favorite part of the live streams because it gives us a moment to kind of take a step back. I've been talking quickly. Let's take a step back and slow it down a bit. If you haven't already, hit the thumbs up on this video, guys. And I want us to reflect on what we talked about here. Not just me, but what other people shared in the chat, what other people opened up about and kind of were honest and real about. And I appreciate every single one of you that was honest and real and open in the chat. In this live stream, we talked deeply about boosting your confidence. And the last point I made was recognizing you have what it takes to be somebody great. I want you guys to, on my bell right here, I want you guys to take a moment. We'll take 10 seconds. Is this my full-time job? It is not my full-time job. YouTube is a part-time thing that I do. I heard the fire for the super chat. So before I do the mindful moment, let's jump into our super chat and see what it was. Nick, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Nick says, what could I be doing wrong that could be making girls not wanting to go out with me? That's a good question, Nick. And it's also a tough one. I understand where you're coming from, that you're trying your best here. You really are trying to put yourself out there, and you're trying to be more confident in your abilities, and you're trying to ask girls out, flirt with them, and it just doesn't seem to be working out right. Sometimes part of it might be in how you're coming off. Maybe it's not coming off as confident enough. Maybe it could be a myriad of factors. It could be that the girls you're approaching maybe don't think you're attractive, or maybe they don't connect with your personality. Every single person's different, so it's hard to give kind of this "why don't girls like me" answer. I know to like some people it's very simple: looks, money, status. I don't think it's ever that simple. I think that there are multiple factors at play, and the best thing you can do is to analyze every individual situation as its own. So, Nick, in our conversations, I think that one thing that I always pick up on is that I feel that maybe there's a bit of nervousness or hesitation when you speak to me. And it may just be because you're speaking to me, but I wonder if that also is happening when you talk to the girls that you like. Maybe there's a bit of nervousness, maybe there's a bit of hesitation when you speak to them, and they pick up on that and they feel like maybe he's not as confident as I would want him to be or something like that. But that's something that can be worked on. It's something you can practice, something you can build on, Nick. So don't feel like things are hopeless and all is lost, because these are small. There are definitely small steps you can take to work on that approach. And I'd love to talk to you and work with you one-on-one, Nick, too. Like I said, if you're interested, become a Patreon, and we can really work on building that confidence and really work on diving deeper into kind of helping get you situated so that you feel comfortable and confident talking to girls, and that girls are more receptive too. But thank you so much for that, Nick. Oh, Hamish K swooped in there. I think my chat froze. Hold on, let me open up the chat because it's not popping up there. Give me a second here. Restore it. Pop out chat. Hamish, thank you again for the £5 super chat. Hamish said, "Find a girlfriend. I wish, but it's hard being single so hard." I hear you on that, Hamish. Again, I get where you guys are coming from. It sucks sometimes being single. It sucks sometimes feeling like, I do all that I can, and why don't girls like me? And like I said, there are small things that you can do to try to improve those connections, but you have to look at them on an individual basis. The moment you start to say, girls don't like me, no girl will date me, you've already entered a losing battle, because it's you against all. And that's not a realistic fight. That's not a realistic thing you can work on. If you say, hey, this one girl that I approached, let me think about how I talked to her. Let me think about how I started conversations. Let me think about, did I compliment her? Did I interact with her enough? Did I move the connection from talking over to, asking her out? There are small things you can do to reflect on, and small steps you can take to work on there, Hamish. I understand your frustration, man. And like I said, I know you're putting yourself out there more on dating sites, so I hope that could be helpful. And I hope next time we chat, we can kind of review some of that as well. Alex Prince says, "Do you like any of my tips?" I love your tips, Alex. I think it's really, really good. Bringing in Harry Potter and talking about the hero's journey like you did, I think was a really, really great thing to share here, because Harry also had to learn how to build his confidence. He wasn't a confident kid in the beginning, but by the end of it, he was super confident. He believed in himself because he knew what he had to do as a hero. He knew what he had to do to help others. So thank you both, Nick and Hamish, for the £5 super chat, $5 super chat. Let's get back to our mindful moment here, guys. Let's pull up the bell. I want each of us right now to close our eyes. We'll do this together. For 10 seconds, we'll take a deep meditative moment. Did I hear another super chat? Okay. Let me jump in and get to the other super chat there before I get to this mindful moment here. Hamish said, "Hey, I'm back from a Zoom meeting." No problem, Hamish. I'm happy you can jump back in. I appreciate it. I hope your Zoom meeting went well. But thank you again for the £5 super chat. All right. Back to our mindful moment here, guys. Let's take 10 seconds to reflect on where we are right now in our own confidence level. Do you feel like it's something that you struggle with? Do you feel like you're doing pretty good? You feel pretty confident about yourself? Do you feel like you need to work with a mentor? Do you feel like you need to reach out to a community? I want us to close our eyes and think about where we are right now. Let's do it together. Let's close our eyes and think. Think about where you stand. Maybe it's on a scale of 1 to 5. Are you a 1 in that you really, really have low confidence and it's hard for you? Are you at a 5 and you feel like you have an abundance of confidence? Think about where on that 1 to 5 scale you are. And let's take 10 seconds to close our eyes, take a deep breath. And I want you to think about the things I shared in this live stream. Building a community, sharing your voice, finding a mentor, pursuing something that you care about. No longer comparing yourself to other people. Think about all those points and how if you act on them, you can move from that 1 to a 5. You can feel confident in who you are. Let's take 10 seconds, take a deep breath and reflect on the point of those 4 shocking factors that stood out to you the most and is something you feel you can work on. Take 10 seconds here, guys. I'll warm up the bell. Let's warm it up. Okay. Sound of the bell. I appreciate all the super chats, by the way. I'm not, I think it's funny. 10 seconds, guys. I'll get to the last super chat here before we close the stream and move on over to Instagram for the Instagram after party. I forgot to tell you guys too. Chandler Lewis said, how should I try pursuing a coworker that I barely see? That's a really, really good question, Chandler. It's difficult to pursue someone that you don't really have a lot of interactions with. Maybe you guys have different shifts. Maybe you work in different areas of the office and stuff. The best thing I think you can do is there's a few things. One is if there's a way you can kind of collectively gather everyone together, maybe a few people at work, a few coworkers, and say, hey guys, let's go out to eat or let's hang out after work one day. If that's something you can do, that's a direction. But sometimes maybe if you have different shifts, you just don't ever see that person. So if you have any mutual coworker friends in common, maybe that coworker friend can try to connect you guys more. Maybe they can start group conversations in the moment. It's okay. You don't have to close your eyes. I close my eyes because it helps me kind of focus more on what I'm talking about there in those moments. But so if you can have a coworker connect you guys, that might be a good approach. Also, another thing might be that if you can talk to them in person, even if it's short, have a small conversation with them and say, you know what, let me get your Instagram and stuff. We'll chat over there. Talk to them in person, ask for their social media, and then carry the conversation over to something that you can talk to them whenever you want, which is a digital social media platform or something like that. Those would be the 3 ways that I would recommend pursuing a coworker. What you'll start to see is the more you talk to them more frequently, whether it's in a group, all you guys hanging out, whether someone can connect you, or whether it's online, the more you do, the easier it's going to be for you to make plans outside of work, which is ultimately what you want to do, because you don't want to flirt with your coworker directly in front of everyone at work. You want to definitely do it away from work where they're going to be a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more open to communicating with you. So thank you for the $5 super chat, $5 super chat, Chandler. I think we got another one in here. Nick, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Okay, let's get to this question now. You guys are on a roll. You know what? I'm going to put a super chat thing on the top here that shows everyone that donated. Thank you so much, Nick. Nick says, I have a lot in common with the girls I'm friends with. For example, TV shows and movies we both like. The only problem is they still don't want to date me unless I'm flirting wrong somehow. Yeah, Nick, that's a really, really good point I think that you raised. So let's talk about that. You have a lot in common with these girls, but for some reason, it just doesn't seem to translate to dating, right? So having stuff in common is the first step towards getting closer to them, right? Now, if you remember, I shared it last week. I kind of shared I forgot what it's called, the communication spectrum, I believe, where it can lead towards dating or it can lead towards no longer talking to them. And the more you talk to them, you're going to start to see where along that line you actually fall. Now, with Nick, I think the thing might be that you end up having a lot in common with them. You guys have a lot. You have a lot in common in terms of, hobbies and interests and TV shows and movies, but the flirtatious piece, the fact that you have to show them who you're interested in, I think is going to be ultimately sub goals instead of sub goals, super chat goals. Yeah, I think I need to set super chat goals or something like that. I got to look into it. Maybe, Donna, if you have any people that I should check out to get ideas, let me know. I'd love to check it out. But Nick, as I was saying, I think that ultimately the flirting piece might be there, but it might be minimal, right? So as you talk to these girls, I guess we have to look into how you're flirting, how you're talking to them. Are you interacting with them in a way that they're flirting back? Is the flirting one-sided? If it is one-sided, how do you get them to open up more? Maybe it's when you feel like you flirted enough, maybe it's then moving to asking them out. Maybe that's a piece that you're missing, and maybe you're doing it too late. But you definitely want to convey a level of confidence when you talk to them so that they feel like, wow, Nick is a fun, interesting guy, and he's flirting with me, and he's pretty confident and bold when he talks to me. I hope that's helpful, Nick. I'd love to dive into it more with you. If you want, we could jump on the Instagram after party and dive into it. But thank you, Hamish. Hamish for the £5 super chat. Hamish said his palms are sweaty. Mom, spaghetti. Thank you, Hamish. I really appreciate that £5 super chat, man. Thank you again. And to everyone that's donated super chats, Christian and Nick and Hamish and all of you guys, I really, really appreciate it, guys. I hope these points have been helpful. I enjoyed this stream. And I hope that you guys will join me over on, hold on, let me pull it up. Join me over on Instagram for the Instagram after party. I'm going live over on Instagram now. Need the money to sort out the mic. This is a brand new mic. I don't get it. It's the Elgato Wave 3. So I don't understand why it would, it's a brand new mic. I don't get it. I got to fix it. I got to see. Maybe it's the wires plugged in right or something. But thank you guys again. Join me over on Instagram. Go to instagram.com/TheJoshSpeaks to join our after party, guys. This has been a fun stream. I hope it's been helpful. Yeah, join the after party, guys. And thank you again. Oh, wrong one. Thank you again for being a part of this live stream. If you're watching the replay, check out the videos over there where I go deeper into building your confidence. I really appreciate you guys. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't, and I will see you over on Instagram, guys. As always, love and peace. See you guys then.